All right, guys, this is Christian here. Today I'm going to be talking about a more motivational topic. And this topic I'm going to talk about is like something that a lot of people kind of struggle with, right? Let's say, for example, you've been a student or you've been a now you're transitioning into entrepreneurship. Maybe you're transitioning into online business or an online skill, right? And you're looking to make money online for the very first time or money with business, right? You're gonna have, a lot of limiting beliefs. You're gonna have like a lot of things that stop you from making the progress that you want to make. Like, for example, there's things that you learn in school or the things that you learn in your job that basically limit your potential because they're kind of like, thoughts or like limiting beliefs that were placed in your mind that stop you from, actually going out there and, reaching your fullest potential as an entrepreneur because when you're an entrepreneur, you just have to take a higher level of risk. You just have to believe that more is possible. And especially if you're like the CEO or like the leader of a company, you need to have, a higher level vision, right? You need to be able to see things and imagine things and just be able to like picture a big company or picture a more successful company or, a better, business and lead the people there, right? You have to like kind of have a vision in your mind, have a vision about the business and what you can do and what the company can do, right? And then basically, give this, motivation, give this vision to your employees, to your team members, and to your clients, and to everyone that works with you, right? So, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a leader of a company, as someone who makes money online and runs a business, you're gonna need to like level up and learn a lot of things, and ditch some of these like bad limiting beliefs that you might have. Like people might tell you like, "Hey, you have to work hard to get money. Hard work's the only way that you can make money, right?" And honestly, that has some truth to it, right? You have to work hard to make money, but as an entrepreneur, as someone that runs a business, you have to focus more on working smart, right? It's not so much about clocking in hours, right? You're not getting paid hourly, so you shouldn't be working 20 hours a day. You should be working, good hours, but on the highest leverage activities and smart work and focus on, managing, building your team. And if you're like in the initial phases, let's say you're at 0 to 5K per month, and it's just you're a solo entrepreneur, or you're just, the only person in your business, then it's a little bit different, but you still have to, have these better, mindset, and beliefs that so that you can actually, keep advancing, right? Let's say, for example, I'm gonna talk to you about this one specifically, right? Because there's a lot of, limiting beliefs that you have to squash. There's a lot of, mindset hacks that you have to adopt. But this is probably one of like the most common ones. And one of those that a lot of people, like I said, who are students or, past workers or past employees at companies, they struggle with this a lot. And it's kind of just like the limiting belief that a lot of things aren't possible, right? Let's say, for example, your goal is to be a millionaire one day, or you would like to have a few $1 million in the future. You'd like to, retire, a little bit earlier than most people. You'd like to take care of your family, just have a higher level of financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom that most people don't have, right? So if you want these things and these are your goals, first you have to believe that it's possible, right? Because I'll tell you one scenario. Let's say, for example, you tell someone, "Hey, my goals are, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be financially free, have location freedom, time freedom. I want to have the ability to buy my dream car. I want to have my dream house. I want to have, the XYZ, right? I want to be able to do this for my family and so on, right? So you tell people what your dream is, what your goals are, and they tell you like, that's not possible, or that thing that you described, you can't have it that quickly. That's gonna take you 50 years. That's gonna take you 40 years. You're lucky if you get half of those things. You're lucky if that even like, get one or two of those things, right? Because that's not realistic. That's not like possible. That's not something that people can do. And especially people from our background and people from like our situations, they don't get these things, right? People might say that to you, and there's two scenarios, right? If you're like this person that just told you it's not possible, that this is unrealistic, and that this can't really happen for people like you or people like them, right? If they tell you these things, they're going down scenario one. And that person who's in scenario one, first of all, they don't believe that it's possible. They don't believe that they can. They don't believe that this is realistic. And because they don't believe it's possible for them or realistic or even like possibility, what's gonna happen instead is that because they don't believe they can, they're not gonna even try, right? So first, they don't believe it's possible, so they don't try. And because they didn't try, and because they didn't aim for it, because they didn't, take any actions, right? They didn't start a business, they didn't, look for ways to make more money. They didn't look for ways to level up. They didn't look for ways to, start a business or, find something to just make more income, right? Because they didn't believe it's possible, they didn't look for the way. And because they didn't look for the way, they never did anything different and they never actually tried. And because they never tried, they never got it, right? So it all stems from this belief, right? If they don't think it's possible, they're not gonna look for the way. And if they don't look for the way, they're not gonna do anything different and they're not gonna get it, right? So basically you have to choose. Are you gonna be in scenario one where you just don't believe it's possible and you tell yourself it can happen, or you tell yourself that this is unrealistic, and because you don't think it's possible, then you'll go down like a stream of different actions, right? You won't look for the way, you won't even try, and then you'll make it reality, right? Because if you do all these things, right, and you say you can't do it and you don't do anything, then it becomes real, right? Because you didn't do anything different. You stayed on the same path that you're on. You just let it, go away and, you let time pass and you just didn't do anything, so it didn't become reality, right? Or you can go in scenario two. And if you're in scenario two, you believe that it's possible. And because you believe that it's possible, you start to look for ways to do it, right? You start to look for, business models that you could try. You start to look for side hustles. You start to look for ways to make money. You start to like kind of like learn things and just try to find things that are going to allow you to level up and, get more time freedom, get more location freedom, and just be able to, get that financial freedom that you want. And you look for ways to invest your money. You look for ways to, basically, start to like grow your wealth and so on, right? Because you believe it's possible, you're going to start to look for ways to do it. And once you look for ways to do it, you'll start to like, learn these strategies, you'll learn these like methods, and you'll go ahead and start to apply them, right? And once you start to apply them, then you're getting closer, right? It's not guaranteed necessarily that because you believe it, and you found out the way, and you start to do it. It's not guaranteed that you'll get there, right? It's not guaranteed at all because in business, there's always, bad fortune or unlucky moments or just difficult moments, right? So nothing's ever guaranteed, right? In business or in life or in anything, right? So just because you believe it's possible, you found the way and you started to do it, it's not guaranteed. But guess what? If you believe and you did these things and you actually did some actions and you started to, move towards it, you might actually get it. You might be like that select few that are fortunate enough, lucky enough, and blessed enough to like go ahead and get the things that they want. Meanwhile, this guy in scenario one, he never tried, he never believed it, he never even like went out there and like did anything different, so he never got it, right? But people in scenario two, they went out there and tried, and because they tried, maybe they got it or maybe they didn't, right? So if you're in scenario two, there's a maybe. If you're in scenario one, it's literally impossible because you didn't even try because you didn't believe it was possible, right? So scenario two is where you want to be, right? And the reason why it's a maybe is because nothing's guaranteed, right? You might have, a catastrophic accident. Maybe you have, things that happen in your life that stop you from being able to hit your goals, right? Because you have to realize life is unpredictable, life is unfair. And just because you do good things and you do things the right way doesn't mean you always get the outcomes you want. But this person here in scenario two, they have a real chance of, making it happen, right? Because they actually believe that they can make the money, that they can actually, grow their wealth and actually accomplish their dreams, buy the dream car, the dream house, get financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom, because they actually believe they can. They actually might. They might actually be the lucky ones that get to like enjoy all these things and make these things happen, right? So you always have to think about it this way. All the people in scenario one with these limiting beliefs, let them have those beliefs. They're not going to get what they want because they don't even think it can happen, so they won't try. But you right here, you have to stay in scenario number two or in situation two because if you believe that it's possible, if you believe you can be a millionaire, you believe you can be financially free, believe that you can have your dream life, you'll find the way and you'll do it and you'll try and you won't give up. You won't give up because you'll see that it's possible. Maybe you'll see other people doing it. Maybe you'll just have so much belief in yourself as an individual, in your dream and in what you can do that you'll just keep going, right? And you just keep going long enough and with enough consistency and with enough effort, you might have the things that you want, right? So pretty much that's what the mindset that you need to have is that you always got to believe that it's possible because this belief is like what actually drives you. This belief is like what brought the other two actions, right? For this other person who didn't believe, that's why they didn't find the way and that's why they didn't do anything. But for these people that do believe and that they think it's possible, they're gonna find the way and they're gonna go out there and do something, right? So always you have to realize that it comes down from the belief, it comes down from the thought or like the idea that it's possible, right? So which of these 2 benefits you more? To believe it's not possible or to believe you can, and then going out there and finding the way and going out there and doing it, right? So, pretty much choose which path you wanna take, scenario 1 or scenario 2, and realize that it all comes down from the belief that you can, and that you deserve it, and that you were meant for it, and that you can actually, achieve all the things that you want. So, again, hope this video was valuable. It's a pretty, motivational, kind of like, more spiritual, more woo-woo topic, but I think it's one of those, like, really helpful, mindset shifts that you can make. And it's one of those mindset shifts that I made really early on in my career, back when I was, 20 and, had even made my first $1,000. I believed that I could, and I believed that I could hit these things and I could do all these things. And because I believed it, I went out there and found the way. I went out there and did the work. I went out there and did the things necessary to make them happen. Right. So again, I want to share you this belief because it's one of those things that I realized like 4 years ago. And this channel and like this content I'm posting, I'm trying to post this content for like people who were in the same situations that I was 4 years ago. Back when I started, back when I hadn't even made that much money online, but I thought I could. this is what these videos are for, and this is why I make these videos, and that's kind of like my target audience, right? So if you're in that situation, you're at that 0 to 5K per month phase. Maybe you made some money, maybe you made no money, but you believe you can. You want to, actually hit your dream life and do these things and hit all these goals, then this video is for you. And I hope this video is helpful because it's one of those mindset shifts that helped me a lot. And if you can make this mindset shift and you can start to like really believe and internalize these things, you'll be able to make progress and you'll be able to get things that people in scenario would who don't believe in it will never be able to get, right? So hope this video is valuable. Make sure you like the video because it's gonna let the algorithm know that this is a high quality video and it's gonna recommend it to more people. And the more people, get recommended this video, the more people can help and the more people can, potentially even change their life, right? Let's say, for example, you stumble upon this video at the right moment. Maybe you're thinking about giving up. Maybe you're just not believing in yourself, but you watch this video and you start to realize, wow, my beliefs have power. My beliefs actually change my reality and what I think is possible and what I end up doing, right? If you start to realize that, you'll get better results. So make sure you like the video. Hopefully more people can see this video as well. More people can be inspired by this message. So like the video, the algorithm is gonna, push out to more people. And also make sure you subscribe because a lot of people, watch videos but they don't subscribe. And if you subscribe, you'll be able to get like notified every time I post a video because I'm posting videos every single Monday and Friday. And if you subscribe and you turn on notifications, you'll be notified every single upload and you'll be able to see more of these videos where I talk about these topics. And I have a lot of other ideas and I have a lot of other, concepts I want to talk about. So make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.